guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I would like to welcome you to the 2020 Christmas Stampathon June challenge. Now this month we are working off an inspiration photo and I will pop that in here, and the inspiration photo is very Christmassy. We have a Christmas tree, a wreath on a beautiful door, we have presents, some skis, we have all types of things. So for my inspiration for the picture, I took the colours, so I'm using mint macaron, cherry cobbler and a bit of crumb cake, as well as some braided linen trim, and that's the twine around the presents. So you can take a colour inspiration, one of the elements, whether it be a present, a tree, the wreath. You take what you want out of that inspiration and make at least 4 cards. So it's as easy as that. I think I've made 9 cards, or I'm going to be making my 9th or 10th card with you guys. I haven't even counted them. So I've kept it fairly simple. Yes, I am doing another wreath for the 2nd month in a row, but I'm doing it in a much simpler form than last month. So I'm using the brand new Arrange a Wreath stamp set. I've spoken to you about the colours. I'm using the Pinewood Planks embossing folder and the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. So pop those to the side. I'm going to bring in my stamping elements to start off with. So I'll just pop a couple of things off to the side. So I'm going to be starting with the wreath. And for this particular, I have re-inked my ink pad. So this wreath is looking a little rustic, but I do like the look of it. So in Shaded Spruce, I am going to take the ink pad to my stamp because it is a rather large image. Okay, pop that there, and I'm also going to use one of our piercing mats just to stamp on, because there is no cushioning under the photopolymer stamp set, so under the photopolymer stamp rather. So I just want to make sure we have a touch of cushioning. So I haven't stamped that down evenly, but that's okay. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to rotate it and pop down again in Stamping Off. So I haven't re-inked, I haven't stamped off, I've just rotated it and stamped back down. So you can see you get that lovely image. Okay, so next we are going to stamp. Now this can be used as like a planner box, or here I have used it as a sign. And I'm going to, if I can untangle my blocks here, I'm going to use crumb cake and just a scrap of Whisper White. Now I do have a scrap of paper here on the side that I am going to stamp off onto, because I just like that stamped off lighter look rather than a full strength. So that's stamped off perfectly, exactly how I wanted it. And then I'm going to bring in the Merry Christmas sentiment, if I can find the stamp on my desk. And going to stamp this in Cherry Cobbler. So the stamping on this card is really, really simple. And there isn't too much to it. It's just the extra elements that really elevate it. Hold that there for a couple of seconds, and that is stamped, which is perfect. Let's move a couple of things out of the way here. Just pop this to the side for the moment, and I'm going to bring in my die cut machine, and I'm just going to emboss this whole piece. Now with this embossing folder, there are two ways, and let me see if I can find one of the other cards to explain. So this one, I have the boards embossed, and with this one, I have the boards debossed. I think I prefer the deboss look. It looks more like an actual floorboard or a piece of wood. And how to do that is so we've got the imaging on the front. So I want to put my stamped piece away from that. So I just want the back of my card front to be at the top. So I see the top where the Stampin' Up logo is. Just get my other plate and pop this on top. This is one of our 3D embossing folders, so you get a really nice deep embossed image, which is lovely. I really like the embossed images. Now I hope you guys are going really well with your Christmas Stampathon challenges this year. If you haven't started, that's okay. There's still plenty of time, and you can go back and do the challenges after the fact. It's just every month. Esther, who I run the challenge with, and myself do send out a random act of kindness card from each of us to 2 participants every month. So I'm just using the braided linen trim and just tying that in a bow. So I use my reverse tweezers to help me with this, if I can open them. So I just hold the knot there, and then I tie my bow. So to be in the running for that random act of kindness and get a start on your Christmas card making, which is the whole point of the challenge and why we start all the way back in January, is you have until the 24th your local time to get those challenges in and loaded. Oh dear. Because I'm on camera, I had no issues at all doing all these other bows, and now I'm on camera, they don't want to work. Okay, there we go. So what I do, I just pull it fairly firmly, remove my tweezers, and then I do all my tweaking. So I pull the loops back through because I don't want them that large on this card, and I do sort of want my bow to be off to the side. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to grab my nice sharp scissors. My paper snips need de-gluing at the moment, and I do like the spring on these ones. Just helps my hands quite a bit, which is good and works for me. So if you're just stumbling across this video and you're not part of the Christmas Stampathon, you can find us on Facebook, and I will have the link below in this video for you to find us. So I'm just going to position that off to the side, and I'm just going to snip this out with my scissors, our little Merry Christmas sign, because it is a bit rustic, this card, and no airs and graces about it. It just is. And this is the perfect card to mass produce. So when I was making my required cards last night, I did all the stamping first, did all the embossing, cut out all these bits, tied all my bows, then did all the assembly, and that made it super duper easy. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I don't want to put any dimensionals in the middle, and that's just so the twine or the braided linen trim can sit nicely in the middle and not be lumpy bumpy. So you could put one in each corner. I've just put two diagonally, and that has worked quite well for these cards. Pop the backing off, and if I have the trim that runs down the middle here, I can then change it round and have it so I can move the bow into the position that I would like it to be. So I do just want to slide that under there, get it as close to centered as what I feel it needs, and I am just going to tuck that bow under the corner. That works really well for me, and just slide in a glue dot to secure that knot down. So this is the third year that the Christmas Stampathon has run, and I must say I have been very impressed with my level of organisation for Christmas. It's always been something I love, sending Christmas cards, but I never quite got there, and I always felt super duper rushed at the end. But now I feel prepared because my cards are made, and then all I have to do is pop them in envelopes right on the inside and use my label maker to have them ready to send off. So I'm just layering this on a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. I just want to hold this down just because we do have the embossing. I just want to give it a rub so it does adhere nicely to the card. And then I'm going to bring in, if I can find where I've put them on my desk, the basic holiday rhinestones. And for those, I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use the putty end to pop these off. And I've just found I've got one off here to the side that must have been left over from last night, and I shall pop these on the card. These are basically the finishing touch to the card, and I've just used all small ones. So I'm just popping them here and there. There really is no rhyme nor reason about it, and I'm not putting them super close together either. They're just going where they go. So this is a great mix of rhinestones. You get all the Christmas kind of colours, which is perfect. Now I think I'm going to pop a lone blue one on here because I do have a bit of blue in our inspiration photo, just to bridge that gap. That looks great. I'm really happy with it. And now I can put it on the thick Whisper White card base, which I have pre-prepared just here. I'm just going to put the glue on the card because I know exactly where my card front is going to sit, so none of this glue will show, and it saves me getting gluey, which is never the aim of the game. So pop this down, and I'll still have a lovely amount of slip for me to pop this into place. So we would love to see you over at the Facebook group participating in the Christmas Stamp-a-thon. All we ask is that you create at least 4 of these cards. Now let's count and see how many I have done. 2, 4, 6. Hang on, there's one over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I've actually made 9 of these cards ready to go in my Christmas stash, and 1 reserved for a random act of kindness card. Once again, I've used the Arranger Wreath from the new annual catalogue. I have used the Holiday Rhinestones, the Pinewood plank embossing folder, and the braided linen trim. The braided linen trim. Try issues with that this morning. So, and once again, I've taken my inspiration from the wreath and the colours and the wood and the twine used in the photo. I can't wait to see what you guys take as your inspiration for your projects. And I will see you over at the group, and I'll see you back on the 25th of July with our next challenge. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.